It's more confusing than Inception, harder than an erection. It's cooler than Andre 3000. Oh, let's get ready for Sweet Connection.
Hello and welcome to Sweet Connection. I'm your host, Catters. With me today is Jason Lewis, of course. Jason, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm alright. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I am full of cold.
Yep, as am I.
It's not COVID.
I've got a COVID story to tell you, Jason. Believe you me.
But my ears, every time I get cold, my ears get blocked and I'm just deaf as a post. So yeah. I'm so glad we've got headphones in because
that's good.
I genuinely can't hear anything.
That's good. So we have just recorded a football commentary. But then right before we did that, you said that you got really angry just now outside my house. Do you want to explain what you were talking about?
So my car has Apple Play.
Oh, first world problems.
And but it's wired Apple Play, so I have to have a USB plug. You know, like when you charge your phone.
Yeah.
And it's been, you know, like when you have a cheap cable. Although this wasn't a cheap. This was a Duracell iPhone charger, so you think it'd last a while. Every time I would go over a little bump or turn a corner, it would disconnect and like turn Apple CarPlay off, and I'd be sitting in silence. And I just got so angry whilst driving. I pulled the cord out, ripped it in my hands, and lobbed it out the window. And it's not the first time I've done that.
So basically, you've just admitted to littering, and that cable that you've thrown out, some like endangered bird is going to find that, swallow it, and then kill itself.
Funny enough, it was down the road where there's a chicken on the loose.
Oh yeah, I've got some chicken news as well. Okay.
So I got very angry, and it just really, really pissed me off.
Okay, so you not only littered, but you littered where I live.
Yeah.
Great.
And where I will be moving to.
Where you'll be living.
So, made a good start. I'll pick it up on my way home, but I just got angry.
You are no way going to pick that up on your way home. Absolutely no way.
Allegedly.
No. There's no way you're going to do that. Yeah, I saw the chicken a few weeks ago. I was in my car driving to work. I stopped my car. And then got my phone out and then took a photo, which I think I sent to you. So the chicken is still around.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
Yeah. This was a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
But the chicken lives still. I am wondering, because now it's getting into winter, is the chicken going to survive the winter?
I'm surprised the fox hasn't got it yet.
Very true.
Yeah.
So it's sort of living on borrowed time. I don't think I'm going to see the chicken again.
That chicken lasted longer than Liz Truss.
Oh, we will get on to Liz. Actually, no. Let's talk about Liz Truss.
Forget the salad. Or whatever it was, the lettuce.
The
chicken has lasted longer than Liz Truss.
Okay, so for our non-UK listeners, obviously the UK had a new Prime Minister, Liz Truss, and for some reason, I'm not even sure why they did that, but a newspaper in the UK bought a lettuce from a supermarket, and then they wanted to see who would last longer, the lettuce before it goes mouldy, or Prime Minister Liz Truss. And inexplicably, the lettuce won.
Although it did age quite a lot.
Yeah, well, you know, as did Liz Truss. So what did you think of Liz Truss and her, 46th day?
She is just...
the shortest Prime Minister in history.
Yeah. What a fucking mess. I think... we don't do politics on this show, but no. I think I could do a better job.
That's very true.
Yeah. It is
even I
ridiculous.
Think that.
Problem is, your thoughts on migrants are even worse than Suella Batman, whatever her name is.
Jason, what are you talking about?
And we would have a skinhead, white, British only English population if it was down to you within hours.
Round them all up is what I would say. No, you've invented this persona that I have,
and you've said it dressed like one,
and you've said it so much that it's possible the listeners genuinely think I am some kind of like far right, like racist.
Well, you do have a tattoo of the St George's flag on your bicep.
I do have that, yeah, but that's coincidental. So
and a tattoo of a British bulldog on your calf.
So we've got another Prime Minister,
yes,
Rishi Sunak lost to Liz Truss, who herself lost to a lettuce. So basically, think of there being a lettuce, then below that Liz Truss, and then below that is our current Prime Minister.
But at the absolute top is the chicken.
It's Feisty the chicken.
That's it.
The celebrity of our village.
Yeah,
who I've seen. So yeah, but
have you heard the news that's come out today? supposedly Matt, caught with his cock in his hands, Hancock, is going to go into I'm a Celeb.
That's
but
confirmed.
not from the start. He's going to be one of those that join later on.
Yeah, so he's
going to get wrecked out there.
So the former health secretary, who got sacked because during a period of COVID lockdowns where you weren't allowed physical contact with people, he was having an affair with one of his aides. He's going to go on I'm a Celebrity.
He's going to get wrecked. Every trial he'll be.
I don't understand why politicians do this, because he's not the first. Nadine Dorris, who's also such a fucking fruitcake, she went on it.
Did she?
Yeah.
When did she go on it?
A few years ago.
Oh, right.
And she's batshit insane. But also, she went on there wanting to talk about her politics, and all of that was cut.
Yeah.
So any politics Matt Hancock wants to talk will get cut.
Well, it's a bit like, I don't know if you've Diary of a CEO podcast. I don't know if you've ever listened to
I
that.
have seen that on Facebook.
He went on to that and was trying to be like, look at me, I'm this normal guy. Look at me, I'm wearing a black roll neck top and I fell in love and all this kind of stuff. And it just come across as a car crash interview. I've got the feeling he's got that mindset because they're so fucking self-centered and stupid and pathetic that he's like, I'm going to go on I'm a Celeb and I'm going to be like the next What's Her Chops, Stacey Solomon, who won it and then become like a really nice TV personality and moved away from that singer personality. He's thinking, if I do this, I might have a slot on This Morning afterwards, when actually he's going to get fucking destroyed.
He thinks he's been hard done by.
Yeah.
Because there were, for the first time possibly in his life, there were some consequences.
He was...
Not even legal... I mean, because in legal terms, he broke the law.
Yeah.
He didn't even get legally charged or anything. He was just fired from his job by Boris Johnson.
So, he's going to get destroyed. And I really hope that he eats a cow's testicle.
Or an anus.
And, and, I don't know, falls off a bungee rope.
Yeah. I hope that the makers of I'm a Celebrity rig his bungee cord to snap, and then we see. Actually, you know when they first arrive in the jungle and they have to parachute from the helicopter.
Yeah,
I hope that they make his parachute way too small. I want it to be like A4 paper size.
Yeah,
doesn't slow him down at all.
Oh,
what a guy! But Jason, it's been 4-year anniversary of you doing this show.
Christ.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's happened? I mean,
when's it going to end?
I don't know. I think when one of us kills the other, which could be any second
today. Yeah.
Think of all that's happened in the past 4 years. We've gone through a pandemic. You've had a child. I've got married. You've got divorced. And married?
All right.
And
fucking hell.
Are you married as well?
Yeah.
Yeah,
all right.
You've gone through an entire marriage.
Yeah, all right. I didn't realise we were bringing that into this, but yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now you know what it's like when you bring up all the stuff about me, Jason.
Yeah.
He's flabbergasted. I've got, what? All the times Jason has irritated me to the point where I'm so annoyed I can't speak. I've finally got him back. We're going to end the show. No, we're not.
So I had a kid. You've moved house. I'm moving
You're
house.
moving house?
I've had 2 different jobs at this time.
Well, yeah, but the same sort of job.
Same job, different companies.
Oh, actually, I've had 3 different jobs.
Yeah.
Again, all in the same industry.
I've had some mental issues, and here we are.
Haven't we all, Jason?
Yeah.
But anyway, happy 4-year anniversary.
Yeah,
Jason.
well, you just cheers.
Yep.
With our cans of Stella to
there we go.
Hide the depression.
Yeah, damn right. Anyway, so it was just at the time of recording. You're right.
Yeah.
He shook.
Prick.
He shooketh. It was just Halloween yesterday at the time of recording.
Yeah.
Did you do anything with your son?
No, he went. I was at work. He's young and he went trick or treating. He absolutely loved it. It's his first time he's ever done it. I fucking hate Halloween.
Why?
I hate it almost as much as I hate soup.
Why do you hate soup?
What's the point in drinking a meaty or vegetable drink
If you're ill, which I'll get onto.
It's disgusting. Soup's disgusting.
Have you not tried mine and Laura's homemade tomato soup?
No, because I think it tastes foul if it's only
You haven't tried it, mate.
Yeah, but
it's nice
I hate
and
tomatoes because of the spewy little specimen that comes out of them.
I'm not a fan of tomatoes either, but I like tomato soup.
Is fucking foul, so I imagine your tomato soup is foul.
I don't make it. Laura makes it.
Oh, so why are you putting your name on it then?
Fair enough. Okay.
I'll eat Laura's tomato soup, but I'm not eating your tomato soup. Anyway, I fucking hate soup and I fucking hate Halloween. Right. Mainly because...
What do you hate more? If you had to pick between you can get rid from the face of the universe, either Halloween or soup.
Soup.
I was going to say, because soup generally crops up more than Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween only really crops up once a year.
Yeah, soup is although it's basically a winter thing.
Yeah, but the reason why I hate Halloween is my whole life, obviously, living at home. My mum, and I don't know if you know this, is a very gothic person.
You know what? I have never met your mum, and I didn't
met her
know
at my
that.
wedding.
I don't remember that.
Anyway. So she has got skull and crossbone tattoos and Grim Reaper tattoos, and the whole house is full of ornaments of skulls and death and all this one time. And,
why have I never been around this house?
It's just because... Anyway, so that's been my whole childhood up till I was... Well, still now. She's still ill into it. So every day at my household was Halloween, basically, because it was just like that everywhere. And I just fucking hate it. I hate it. I hate Halloween. I like the sweets. I've been eating Arthur's sweets, but don't tell him that.
Okay. So what did Arthur dress up as?
A skeleton.
A skeleton. Original. Real original, boy.
He's free.
Well,
what's he going to dress up as? Fucking
I don't know.
Hulk Hogan on crack whilst he's bumming a bloody scarecrow. That'd be weird.
I mean, you know, if you can pull off that costume, then
maybe next year I'll get to dress up as a tin of tomato soup. That'll be the most hated day
a tin of Campbell's soup. You know, like that the famous artwork of just Campbell's soup.
Mm.
You'd be like, this is the scariest thing I've ever seen. Yeah. See,
I bet you answered it all.
Well, that's the thing. I would have done because last year our next door neighbours have got young children, and they came to our door and we gave them sweets.
You just about moved in, didn't you?
Yeah, that's the thing. Not too far after we moved in. So a few days ago, I texted my neighbour and said, if the girls are going to be doing trick-or-treating, you can come round and ask, we've got sweets, no problem. They never replied, and we never got a knock on the door.
You see, again...
So I bought a big bag of sweets, which I'm now happily eating, by the way, but...
I'll take them for Arthur if you want. Brackets, I eat them.
If you can give half to Arthur, you can have them.
All right.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Is that fair, deal?
Yeah, that's fair. Anyway.
You are... No way you're going to give any to Arthur, right?
Anyway...
I'm not giving them to you for the sake of it. Give them to Arthur.
I will give them to Arthur.
You
what
sure?
sweets are they?
Just kind of Halloween style, big bag of multi-pack.
Oh, his favourite. Yeah.
Yeah. Of cheap knockoff Haribo.
But can I just say...
Yeah, go on.
You text your neighbour saying, if your kids want any sweets, come round, I've got some. Send them round, I've got some. And
in context, that's much better.
But for 364 other days of the year, if you've done that, he ain't going to be your neighbour for much longer. It's a nonsense paradise, Halloween. Speaking of, in my head, I was just singing Gangster's Paradise, but living in a nonsense paradise. Rest in peace for that singer who sung that song, by the way. What's his name? Coolio. He's dead.
Coolio, yeah.
He's dead.
R.I.P. Coolio.
Yeah.
What a guy. Anyway, back to Halloween.
Nonsense paradise, yeah. Halloween.
So, I was sort of looking forward to, opening the door and being like, hey, have some sweets. But only for one.
You're fucking wrong.
But only for them. I didn't get a pumpkin and put it out the door.
Trick or treat. The treat's my penis.
So
the trick is the rehypnol in the sweets.
But again, I drove home last night, and now that...
Check you out.
Oh yeah,
weird flex.
Not to brag or anything, but I can afford an automobile. I was driving home. I was driving home last night, and obviously you could see everyone trick or treating, and I thought it was quite sweet. You saw the parents dressed up with their kids having fun. I thought
you're not convincing me.
There was an odd. I felt oddly kind of nostalgic. Is that the word? I'm not sure.
Did you used to go trick or treating as a kid?
Yeah.
See, I used to, and it was all fun, but yeah, no, I hate it. I hate it. But you know what today means? November 1st.
What?
Christmas.
Listen, oh, fucking hell. You know what? Okay, how bad is this, right? When I went to see my mum, literally like 3 weeks ago, so we're talking early October.
Jill.
Yes. She had her Christmas decorations up, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? In like, this, on like the 4th of October, I went there, and I was like, you're an absolute mad lad.
Have you seen her since?
Yes. I had to go see her, because actually, me and Laura got called out for like an accident and emergency. Basically, me and her were in the garden, like this was like 2 weeks ago, and my older sister called me, and I was like, this isn't good, because she never calls me. So she called me, and she said, and she lives about 40 minutes away, and she said that Mum has hurt her hand quite badly, and she's like a bit upset. Is Laura home? I mean, you know, fuck me. Is Laura home? Who is a nurse? And if she is, can you go round to Mum's? And I was like, okay, yeah, it's fine. Me and Laura are home, we'll go. Hey, I'm not sure why my mum's first reaction was to phone her child who lives the furthest away, and not the one who lives the closest, i.e. me, but fine, whatever. So basically, me and Laura, like...
And also to phone her to get her to phone you.
Well, no, I'm getting... Because my sister's husband is a doctor.
Oh,
so
right.
I'm guessing that's why they phoned. But also, it's pointless getting advice over the phone. You need someone to treat the wound. So we went over to her house. And basically, she had like a garden shredder where you put like bits of wood in it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
chews it up.
Like a wood chipper.
Not quite a wood chipper. It's much more than that. It basically is almost like a paper shredder, but it's got a big bag underneath it, and you put like sticks in it, and it makes it into mulch.
Bugs.
Not bugs. What do you mean?
I'd put animals in it.
Yeah, fine. Anyway, and she was doing that, and she put this big branch in it, and it kind of flicked up, and basically it like sort of impaled her like right through the middle of her hand.
That's why you wear gloves, Jill.
That's-
Come on, Jill.
That's what I said. I said, why aren't you wearing gloves? But anyway, and you know, it was quite deep, and we got there, and you know, I could see a trail of blood,
Oh.
and I was like, oh, okay. And then she's in the kitchen, so Laura fortunately had loads of kit in her car from being a nurse anyway, so she went over.
She stole from work.
Yeah. And so fortunately she went over, to cleaned it up, and yeah, but again, it was quite a deep wound, because it was so deep that the fat from her hand was like poking out.
Oh.
So it was pretty
Can't believe
nasty.
you just said your mum's got fat hands. That's really
No, the fat from within her
That's
hand.
well
Everyone's
rude.
got fat, whatever.
Your mum was so fat, she got fat hands.
So she was doing that. I wasn't to be trusted, so I was basically on like sort of blood cleaning up duty. But then when I did get like sort of close to the wound, I then like sort of gestured with my hand and accidentally flicked the wound, and Mum was just like nearly screamed, and I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna back away.
Did you go for a hearty handshake as well? I thought you were going to say, so I worked on the paper shredder thing, and I cut my hand as well. That's what you were going to say.
Yeah. It's like, yeah.
God.
It's just a vicious cycle of just keep doing this. So we were called out.
Poor old Mary.
But fortunately, she's okay now. And,
Without her hand.
And Laura did a great job, although the hand has had to be amputated since. But, you know,
Did Laura get a tip?
No, she didn't get a tip.
No, but we did clap for her on a Thursday, so that's basically a tip, isn't it? So
yeah, that was good. You've been playing football, haven't you?
I've been playing a lot of football.
How's that
I have been playing. I have been roped
But
in.
weirdly, here's the weird thing, because you know all of the listeners know that you play football, but not a lot of listeners know that occasionally you win at football.
Yeah.
And you've been winning a lot recently.
Keeping clean sheets and getting man of the matches.
Wow.
Like, I am like a new man. Maybe it's all the weight I've gained from the depression. That's
So you
made me
still
fill out the
haven't
goal.
lost any weight in preparation for our squash match?
No, I'm kind of hoping you forget about that, to be honest.
I see. Because you've been very confident, Jason.
I am still very confident, but
And
I've
I've got to be honest.
running out of time.
How angrily confident you were has like stayed with me. And even if you give up, I'm still claiming that £100 from you when we play. So
Yeah,
just because
no, I'll beat you. I'll
Yeah.
just my training
anyway,
starts.
whatever.
New year, new me. I said that last 3 years in a row. Okay, that's got me.
Anyway, so you've been playing football.
Been playing
You've been
football.
playing quite well.
I've been playing quite well to the point where I've also been signed up to play for a Saturday team.
Ooh, that's much better than Sunday teams.
And I don't know, but the Saturday team, I've played 3, won 3, conceded 2.
Ooh,
I'm playing again this weekend.
Pretty good.
It's
How do you find playing like sort of 2 days in a row? Is it exhausting, even for a goalkeeper?
To be fair,
who often don't do much. Just be honest.
Yeah, well, I have to do a lot because it's fucking normally playing.
So mostly pick up the ball from your own net.
But now I'm just flinging around that goal and making saves. It's very tiring. I'm very run down, and need a break. But we battle on. One day I'll get signed up and I'll be playing for England in the World Cup. I'm in my prime. Actually, keeper's prime is in his mid-30s, so I've got a bit of time before I hit my prime.
Yeah.
I think I hit my prime about 16 years ago, to be fair, when I was 11.
Yeah, but like, weren't you weirdly short when you were 11?
I was, yeah.
Yeah.
I was about 5'3", so about the same height you are now.
That's hilarious.
Until I was 17.
Hilarious.
And then I just shot up pretty much overnight.
Yeah. So
now I'm 6'1".
One day I'm sort of hoping maybe I'll have my growth spurt.
Maybe.
And I'll maybe break past 5'5".
Hey! Beat me to it.
That's
you
great.
Beat me to the
I finally...
Oh, lost your virginity?
I mean, that as well. I finally contracted the disease known as COVID.
Syphilis. Oh, right, okay.
Known as COVID. Shall I talk you through?
Yeah, I'd like
COVID?
to. Yeah, go on. I had a really funny text.
Go on.
When you texted me saying you had COVID, I just thought it was so funny.
Why is that funny? Do you know how ill... Okay, well, I'm about to tell you how ill I was.
Yeah, I know how ill you were. But what I found the funniest was just how specific you were when you were texting me. Hold on, where is it? 2 years and it finally got me. This morning for about 1 hour at 0500 was the most ill I think I've ever been. I just love how how specific that was. But when it got to 6:01, you were like, nah, fine, back to normal. But talk to me. Did you nearly die?
Yeah, basically, I was because on the Monday, I'd normally have judo, but I was basically like sort of coughing and sneezing, still perfectly fine, but just coughing and sneezing. So I thought probably not the best thing that I do judo with a cough and a sneeze. That's fine. So I stayed in. Then on the Tuesday, again felt okay. Didn't feel okay enough to train and lift big weights. I was like, okay, it's fine. I'll have this day off. I'll carry on Wednesday. So on Tuesday night, I went to bed fine. At 5 o'clock, as I told you on the text, I shivered myself awake. And again,
I hate that.
I've had shivers. These were more like spasms, because it was like my entire muscular system was
you got a lot
shaking.
of that.
Not being bragging or anything, but if every muscle in me is shaking, that's a lot of shaking. It woke Laura up.
You'd be class if you had Parkinson's, wouldn't you?
I was I'd be off the scale. So I was shaking myself. I was coughing, and I woke Laura up, which is quite an achievement.
It's not. Your fucking snoring keeps her up.
Yeah, but then she wears earbuds. She's pretty happy. So anyway, I managed to shake Laura up. She got up, and then she obviously knew pretty quickly that I was not in a good way.
Yeah.
So then she went downstairs. She got some painkillers, and then she made me a thermos flask of tea because you know what, a good cup of British tea can cure anything.
Yeah, yeah,
and it did. So yeah,
I need to confirm.
She wanted to do a COVID test there and then, but I was shaking so much. I was like, if you stick that bud up my nose, you're going to impale my brain. Like there's no physical way we can do a COVID test right now. I couldn't stop moving. I was shaking so much. So she force fed me some painkillers, and I was sipping the tea through the thermos, through the little thermos flask cup thing,
sippy cup,
little tiny sippy cup. And honestly, for that hour, that is the illest I've ever been.
Yeah.
In my nearly 28 years on this planet, that's the worst I've been. But I'm not sure whether it was the painkillers or the tea or just whatever, but after an hour, I felt so much better. Still ill, still not going to work, clearly, right? But I wasn't shaking anymore. I was kind of drowsy and down and out and achy, but I wasn't shivering. But after that hour, I seemed to burn most of it out. And during that hour, Laura was taking my temperature. And Jason, you know, I'm sure as someone who got a merit in your BTEC sport, you know...
But I also got BTEC Sports Student of the Year. But
you know what temperature the human body should naturally be at, which is...
36...
Nope.
0.9 to 37.4.
37, roughly 37 centigrade is what you should be. Yeah.
Yeah, so I got it.
Yeah, fine.
Spot on.
Whatever.
Thank you very
Again,
much.
that's roughly, right?
You fucking cunt.
The hottest I was...
Go fuck yourself.
Sweet connection telling you to go and fuck yourself.
Brilliant. The hottest I was 41 centigrade, but...
Gonna cook an egg on you.
You could Dan. But then, within about 5 minutes, the lowest I was 35.
Oh,
So there was a 6 degree...
could have put an ice cream on you.
There was a 6 degree range in...
That's mad, isn't it?
It's just up and down. Laura has had COVID twice, and I never got anything.
Windbrag.
She's had 4 jabs. I've had 2 jabs. It really shows the difference between what having 4 jabs, full coverage, and 2 jabs does. Now, again, because she works in the hospital, she has to have 4 jabs. I have not been offered any more jabs, so it isn't like
neither.
I've just not gone to them.
Because we're fine specimen of human being. That's
Yes,
why.
but Jason, I'm saying even I got that bad,
Yeah.
and I am basically superhuman. So imagine what someone like you would... You'd have died.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is, you say that, I've never had COVID, and it never will get me, because I am fucking built differently. I've been ill.
You're not, Jason.
and I've
You're
got
built
cold
the
right
same
now.
as everyone who says they're built differently.
Oh.
Ironically, you're built the same as everyone.
Well, not the same as you, because you've had COVID.
Yeah, but Jason, I burned through it in 1 hour, all right? COVID was in me for an hour and said, this body is so... Like, why is it so fit and yet so unhealthy through alcohol? Like, I was drinking beer on the Tuesday night, and it was just like, it's a very strong muscular, but also, it's poisoning itself with all this alcohol. Like, this is just not an appropriate...
Yeah.
And I burnt through it in an hour.
Yeah, well, it doesn't even reach me. It will never get me. I can't wait for you to do a show next week. But like, Jason, unfortunately, couldn't be with us today because he's got COVID.
Because he died from COVID.
Imagine that. Oh, God. Thanks, I haven't sorted out my life insurance yet.
Oh, that's good.
Goodness
So,
me.
yeah, again, COVID is still out there. We do pretend that it's not, but it is. But anyway.
Speaking of
Go on then.
saying, COVID will never get me and all that kind of stuff, what are
It
your
will.
thoughts? This is going to sound really completely different to you.
Go on then.
What are your thoughts on your chances of winning the lottery?
0, because I don't play the lottery.
No, but I have this
hell. I mean,
feeling that
you're
I'm
gonna win the
destined
lottery?
to win the lottery. It's just all about when I buy a ticket. Like, I feel like...
In a way, that is correct.
Do you know
If
what I mean,
If you don't buy
though?
a ticket, you won't
No,
win.
but I feel like I bought one lottery ticket when I was 16. I feel like...
And did you win?
No, because
Okay,
that was
well,
my one
well,
chance.
that seems likely to be the
But
same.
I now feel like I am that destined to win the lottery that the next time I buy a ticket, I'm going to win. And I can feel it in my bones. And I thought it was just me who had that feeling.
Or, okay, so if the chances of you winning a decent amount on the lottery is roughly the same as being struck by lightning, you will either win the lottery
Yeah,
or get struck by lightning.
yeah. Or get
Possibly,
COVID.
possibly, you'll have just bought the winning ticket. You walk
Fucking
outside, you get hit by lightning, which then ruins the ticket. So you can't win the lottery.
But I thought I was like one of the only ones that had this like willpower kind of thing. This not willpower.
Willpower.
This
What
like
are you on about?
sixth sense that I'm going to win a...
Sorry, I think the word is delusion.
Yeah, sixth sense I know I'm going to win it. And then I saw like, on Facebook you see people share these photos, all that kind of stuff. There was a photo that someone shared that has been shared over 1 million times.
Probably
and
fake.
it said, is it just me who has that weird feeling that you're destined to win the lottery? It's just about buying a ticket. I was like, oh shit. I share
because
this
it's
feeling
not you,
with...
Jason.
but-
Everyone thinks that.
No, I've got the National Lottery app and I've got login details, but I've just never bought a ticket because I just know one day I'm gonna be like, today's my day and fuck it, I'm gonna have 6 million in the bank.
If you do, will you share some of it with me?
I will not.
Fair enough. Anyway, on that note, we've got to say thank you all for listening.
Hold on, wait, I've got another funny lottery story. I was talking about this with my mother, right?
Quickly.
And we were talking about what we'd do if we win the lottery and all that kind of stuff. And my mum ended up sort of really getting angry with me to the point where she stopped talking to me and was like ignoring me because she was like, "Oh, if you win it, you'd buy me a house, wouldn't you?" And I went, "No." And all this, what I would do with the money. She's like, "Oh, but you'd buy your nan a house, wouldn't you?" "No." "You'd buy your sister a house." Like, "No." And I went, "The best I'd do is buy houses and I'll charge you all rent." And she just like so angry. The fact that I was sort of like hypothetically speaking about if I had millions of pounds, mate, that I wouldn't give them a house. Therefore, that she stopped talking to me for the day.
Yeah, but she's sort of right though.
Oh, well, what would you do?
You're a terrible person. Anyway, we've got to say thank you all for listening. Stay safe. Because COVID is still out there, believe me.
I'd put £1 million bounty on Feisty the chicken.
And we say we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Not me.
So, Jason, where can you get more Sweet Connection in your life?
Well, Ben, we are on Facebook at Sweet Connection Podcast, and we're also on Twitter at SweetC_podcast. So you can give us a like or a follow.
And you can also find us on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and Podbean. So if you enjoyed the show, you can give us a rating or a review or recommend to a friend.
And if you wanted to email in a topic or a question or just say hi, it's thesweetconnection@outlook.com.
Massive thanks to CIPP and Carlyle Laurent for all of our jingles. Thank you for listening and catch you next time.
Sweet connection.